democracy if people don't have a right to speak?
David Shebib.
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 All of anybody that may be listening to this, they would be thinking, well, why am I watching this? What's stimulating about this conversation that is engaging me within my mind as being worth listening to? And I'm sitting here and I'm thinking, I go out in this society that I'm living in, and I see what's going on over a period of 70-some years, and I say, basically, it's all bullshit. The whole play is bullshit. It's just false from beginning to end. There's no authorities there that you can relate to it in a truly conscious way and say, yes, we've achieved where we want to be. This is perfect now. And it's basically, it's all kind of crap. And you try and change it, you're forever trying to change an aspect of it, because you say, well, let's focus on the aspects so we can get something done. And that's never ending. So because the aspect, it turns into, it's a whole system that is dysfunctional. The whole thing it needs to be scrapped. And a whole new system looked at. Fortunately, there are more than one system in reality.
I wouldn't agree. There's the singular system of nature, and then there's the delusion that something can have a nature apart from that. And so that becomes its own nature, like a nature of...
That's the other system.
Falsehood.
That's the other system. That's that false system. That's what it is. In the other system, in the real system, what you're saying is right. Yes, it's all one singularity. And so in a way you say, well, yeah, it's all perfect, but it's a perfect mess. Like there's no, this place like sucks the way we're forced to live. We don't have freedom of actions. We don't have freedom in conditions. Everything is a trap. And analyze, I said, yes, I'd love to talk to a teacher in it, or an economist, or a preacher. It wouldn't matter. I'd love to talk to anybody there about the reflective view of what is truly going on within our day here where we are, and our inability to be effectual in any kind of real change, in any, even in the my most minutest detail, like you yourself, winning the right to sleep outside. You know, like how difficult that was to achieve that, right? And what you had to go through it, and what did you get out of it? You know, what have we got today? And still, it's a large path. Just getting that right did not free you to be today living in any true way within this crappy system we got.
Well, on one level, there wasn't a win. There was never a win in that regard. But at the same time, there was absolutely a win because we showed that the crown isn't invulnerable. Like the crown bleeds.
But they don't care
but
about
I don't
that.
like that analogy.
But they don't care. We're still the boss. You changing the law is like hugely difficult, and they don't. So they're not accountable. Like they're not nothing there. In real state where you can get a real situation going right now. Like we're in an emergency situation. We have to act to the crisis that is presently going on within our world right now, all over the world. It's a huge crisis. And on this level where we are, we have all the resources, we have all the facilities, and we still, we got empty theaters, we got empty apartment buildings, we got like everything, water, we got, like, all the resources are here. But what are people doing? What are the, what's, the traffic jams are all over the city, like the lineups for food, it's all at the grocery store. Like it's a corrupt, crazy system, but the people are not nuts. They can see it and they don't know what to do to get through it any different than the way we're conditioned. We're a slave race.
And the first step is to love truth.
We're at the first step. Yeah. This is the first step. So then you say, okay, well, the true conditions are not true. They're placing all these false conditions on me. All these things that are taking me nowhere and leading me down a never-ending path of getting and nowhere to put.
The frustration of being unable to shake a part of you, you know, everyone, that there's a simple logic involved. If you don't want to be ruled by madness, stop paying madness a yearly wage.
They're all fired. Because that's it. I don't need their position. But like to get the message out to the people, that's going to take everybody to do this. We're all just going to have a mass wake up.
Be not proud. That's the only thing.
Yeah, no divisions.
Well, there isn't. That's the problem. People pretend there is.
No, there's no
Makes them
divisions.
insane.
But the people don't get that message. They keep hearing about countries fighting. They keep hearing about people's ideologies
And
fighting.
Hollywood keeps telling them it's perfectly fine to get psychotic to protect your family.
Or to protect their country. Even Mary Baker Eddy said that she'd go to war to defend the borders. Right? And I thought, what the hell? Why would she say that? If she didn't understand that the borders are prisons.
My grandma said kill them with kindness.
Yeah, well, if you were kind to them right now, what would you do? What kind of a path would you lay on the earth of salvation?
I would stop enabling them.
Yeah, stop paying them. But even stopping paying them, there's nowhere to stop.
Well, the only way to stop paying them
to stay.
is to conquer fear itself.
Well, the people are all being put in their own headsets now. That's what's happening. That's what's in your mind. You know, like everywhere you go, what's in your mind? Like everybody, what's going on? And it's trouble after trouble. Like it's all struggle. The whole thing is a horror show.
Patience and wrap your heads around tent cities working. The media has not told you the truth about communal living. And for all the people who are going to be in the first tent cities, it can't be outside. It can't be, they'll pull a Koresh on you. It has to be right in the heart of the city. It has to be an emergency response to this global catastrophe. Assert your right to live. Don't rage, don't panic. Rather starve to death in jail if you have to. And then we'll get heaven.
There's a real nice property, it's still vacant downtown. 10 acres of land that's on the waterfront. Right, but it's just got to just happen too. Like the times are going to make it, force it so people have nowhere else to go. And then they'll start the camps. Like right now we got internet, we got all these facilities. Like we can communicate around the world. And if the people around the world just came to recognize that this is all our earth, everything living on it, and to treasure it and protect it, dismantle the borders. They're unreal. They do not exist in truth. And and then we work together, like from the local level, free ourselves from these conditions we're in, where we're underneath the banks and the governments and the landlords, like it's a trap. Right? And so, as tent cities are an answer to that trap, I said, yeah, start looking at tent cities. If that's the way to go, then let the people know that. And if we took the highways,
There's
like,
no,
get the message out.
if the devil wants to kill you, invite the devil to do it and forgive it.
If God wants to love you, what would love do? Well, like, given the condition we're in, like, so I say, okay, if you hear a good message, then promote it, get it out there, and get some community going on it, and work it out, so that it's to the benefit of everybody. And then we all involved, and we got another kind of a such situation that becomes the focus of our action. And I like Judgment Day News. I say, this is it. Like, we're at the end of time. We can see the crisis around us, and you have an answer in tent cities as being
No,
the relief
no,
valve.
no, I take that back, I don't wanna be, it's not tent cities that are gonna save us. It's the acceptance that whatever you think that free will is, you're wrong. There's no such thing as choice, and that's something you gotta wrap your head around. There's a reason pride is a bullshit lie. You are not the originator of your thoughts. You are a conduit of experience, just like everyone else, and it means there's no such thing as evil, and we've been lied to for thousands of years by insane angels.
But still, I have to look at my day and what I do in my way and say, okay, or no, nay. And mostly it's, I don't want to do this. I don't want to go through what is facing me to try and get this straight here, the way we're moving. Like, and if it's just a conscientiousness, and I say, okay, I can sit here and meditate on it and come to some kind of peaceful conclusion that it's out of my hands, there's nothing I can do about it, and it's okay, we're still okay, we're surviving, we got a fire, we got a good place to live right now, but the crisis is around us. We can see it falling down, and I can see certain people who have answers for it in different ways, Louis with gardening, and I don't feel like we're getting the message out, because the people are still in the IKEA lineups buying junk, and the garbage dumps are filling up, and our whole direction is wasted in consumer reality. It's a horror show.
Hence patience.
Well, there's also things that people can be doing that are better than what they're doing when they've got nothing else to do.
The only thing people need to do if they want heaven is stop being horrible. There is no do involved.
Right, but if you're being nice, you give the people whatever you can as a truth, so that they can base their foundation on what's real, and not that crap that they're force feeding our brains with countries, divisions, and educational nightmares.
And everyone's where they're at with their own experience and means and opportunities.
But it's all the singularity.
Well, and to know the parameters of that singularity brings grace. And it's all about being cool.
Yeah. How cool is it?
Ultimately
doing what
and
they're doing
fundamentally
every day.
not.
Like what's going on in any one day here? Is enough to make a vulture puke. Yeah, like it's such bullshit from one end to the other. Like I look at aspects of it sometimes, like the police, and I say, imagine being a cop, just for a little bit. You say, okay, you got a cop, you're carrying 40 pounds of armor around, you got a gun in your holster, you've been trained to shoot, you know how to, and you're looking for trouble to justify your job. You got to find trouble.
I wouldn't. People want nobility, and it's not a thing that's generally found, and so they go towards sort of the things that hint towards a life that would be noble.
Yeah, like the Dalai Lama.
Well, the only problem being that there is a fundamental delusion, and it's allowed for terror as a motivational technique.
There's a lot of nuts out there.
They're just really afraid of hell. That's all.
They're moving with bombs on their back, you know, and they can walk into mosques, and they can walk into any establishment now with drones, and they've got a very vulnerable system, and a lot of psychotics are running it.
That's why you just gotta be too tired to be afraid. Because
Hey, that's a good one, actually. Too tired to be afraid.
Yeah,
I can't take this anymore.
There's a liberation there.
My love is overboard.
Just love truth. Analyze choice. Figure out exactly what you are so you can learn how to dance in this universe.
And dance we are. Like we are now like live structures on the earth, you know, with abilities and ability to function. Like there's a lot of people around the earth that can still move and clearly think about what's going on and come to different terms about it, and say yes, no, we gotta change the system away from their system to a true system where reason is rule. And you do your best, right? Like you do your best, but again, back to aspects. People are looking at what's going on, and the police are a function within our communities. Like we vote in a vehicle, like we see people being stopped, and you think, well, it's a hardship. It's going to be a hardship for those people, big tickets, and you think about the guy's job. That's his job, doing that. You know, the stories they must hear about, you know,
Well, in the nature of their job, they are seeing the worst.
Mm-hmm.
And just madness and the drugs and...
Yeah, what a job. What a horrible job. And being a doctor, no better. Or a dentist, like you're always dealing with pain and disease and struggle. Like there's no good position there. So, and you come to the gardener now, and hello, Andrew.
Hello, Shebib.
And the gardener has got the best job of all. Right? Like you're out in the garden and you're planting seeds and you're working with a real nature. You know, like that's But any of those other jobs, like forget it. Insurance salesmen and all that other shit they got going on. 90% of what they're doing is not necessary. Maybe 100% of what they're doing is not necessary. That's a consideration.
And with that, welcome to
Welcome to
close out.
Judgment Day's
close
News.
out.
Judgment Day News.
JudgmentDayNews.com. What's it?
That's it. Yeah. What's in your mind? I want to put. There it is. And what's in your mind is it right now on That's the news.
All right.
What's going on, guys? Hey, yeah, but yeah.